All right, if you've got a bank account in Turkey, whether you're an individual, a business owner, or a foreign investor, you're going to want to listen up. There's a really critical change coming that you absolutely need to know about.
So, if this is you, if you send or receive money in Turkey, pay close attention. The way you move your money is about to change in a big, big way. Go ahead and circle the date on your calendar, January 1st, 2026. That's the day Turkey is rolling out some strict new rules for all money transfers using an IBN. And trust me, it's going to have a major impact on how every single transaction gets processed.
So, what's actually changing here? Well, the authorities are basically setting up a whole new framework that's going to seriously affect wire transfers and EFTs, electronic funds transfers. They're paying special attention to those high-value transactions and, crucially, the explanations you give for them.
But you might be wondering, why now? Why this sudden change? To really get that, we need to take a look at the agency that's behind these rules and what they're trying to achieve.
These new regulations are coming straight from MASAK. That's Turkey's Financial Crimes Investigation Board. Think of them as the financial police, and they are the ones driving this entire shift. So what's their motivation? It's all about cracking down on serious financial crime. We're talking about shutting down money laundering schemes, putting a stop to illegal betting operations, cutting off funding for terrorism, and just generally getting a handle on all that undocumented cash floating around. It's also about getting Turkey in line with global standards, the kind set by the Financial Action Task Force. Now, it's really important to get this straight. This is not about blocking legitimate business. If your transactions are all above board and transparent, you really have nothing to worry about. The whole point here is to create a clear paper trail, to have stricter oversight, and to make it much, much harder for illegal activities to happen. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty, because there are two fundamental changes you have to understand. It's all about how you describe your transfers and how closely they're going to be looked at. First, just look at this contrast. The days of using super vague one-word descriptions like payment, transfer, or debt, yeah, those are officially over. Starting in 2026, every single transfer is going to need a specific, clearly defined purpose. No more ambiguity. From now on, your bank is going to make you choose from a specific list of categories. Things like real estate purchase or professional service fees. And what if your reason doesn't quite fit? Well, you'll have to select Other, and then you've got to write a detailed explanation, at least 20 characters long. A vague description is going to be an instant red flag. And the second major change goes way beyond just the description box. The level of scrutiny, how closely your transaction gets examined, is now going to be tied directly to its value. The bigger the amount, the closer MASA and the banks are going to look. This idea of increasing scrutiny brings us to probably the single biggest new rule of them all, the introduction of a critical threshold for any large transactions. And here it is. This is the magic number, 20 million Turkish lira. Any transfer of this amount, or more, is going to automatically trigger a brand new mandatory requirement. So what does that mean in practice? Well, the process now gets a huge extra step. When you start a transfer for 20 million lira or more, your bank is legally required to stop and ask for proof. You will have to provide official documents before that money goes anywhere. And what kind of proof are we talking about? We're talking about official paperwork that proves the economic reason for the transfer. This could be a title deed for a property sale, a notary agreement if you're buying a car, or invoices and contracts for a business deal. Something solid. And the new reality couldn't be simpler. If you can't provide the documents, the transaction will not happen. It's a full stop. Banks will be legally forced to reject it, and trying to push it through could put you squarely on MASAK's radar. Okay, so we've talked about the what and the why. Let's get to the most practical part, the how. What can you do right now to get ready and make sure you're totally compliant when these rules kick in? This right here is the new mindset you need to have. From 2026 on, every significant transfer in Turkey is going to be judged by these three things. It has to be clearly explained, it has to be economically reasonable, and for those large amounts, it has to be properly documented. So here's your final checklist, your action plan. First, start getting specific in all your transfer descriptions starting today. It's a fantastic habit to get into. Second, if you know you have some high-value deals coming up, get your paperwork organized now. Have it ready to go. And finally, if you're running a business, now is the time to get your payment and accounting systems updated to handle these new requirements. So a new era of financial transparency is coming to Turkey, and getting prepared is absolutely everything.
It really all boils down to one simple question you need to ask yourself.